Welcome to this edition of Agile and DevOps Tidbits. Today's subject is DevOps. It's about closing your environmental gap. So what we're going to look at is what are people being told about Agile and DevOps by many in the industry. The first thing is we want to look at, when moving to Agile and DevOps, have you created a vision and goals for Agile and DevOps? Unfortunately, what we find is way too few companies are actually doing this. They treat this as an IT initiative instead of understanding that it is an organizational transformation process. So we do need a vision and goals. And by creating a vision and goals, we're creating a clear, meaningful, and reflective vision and goals that can be powerfully communicate your Agile and DevOps intentions and motivate and inspire your teams to ensure they understand the objectives the organization is trying to achieve with Agile and DevOps. By doing this, it allows everyone to make everyday consistent decisions and achieve buy-in to the new direction. So what is the industry strategic, what strategic reasons is the industry telling you that you need to go to DevOps? And one of them is we want increased release velocity. We want faster recovery times, more frequent deploys, and big one, reduced cycle time, improved defect detection, reduced time to recovery, shorter development cycles, and reduced, mean time to recovery. These are all important, and here we'll describe, we believe these are just prerequisites to your ultimate goal, what your ultimate goal of DevOps should be. And your ultimate goal is actually to close your environmental gap. Closing an environmental gap requires a monitoring of an organization's internal and external environments by detecting early signs of opportunities and threats and needs or wants of the customer and the market that may influence your current and future plans. In DevOps, though, we are using monitoring, statistical sampling, feedback loops, release strategies, and Andon to help us accomplish this. But believe me, there is more than this that meets the eye. As an example, let's use this as an example. Simply receiving data through feedback loops isn't of value until we can, explicitly see the relationship between an application feature and how end users are using it. When you have both valid data and understanding the relationship with the data, then you can be said to have something resembling information. But remember this: the information must be explicit. What this really means is we're not looking at data and a group of individuals or a team is going, well, we think this is what the data is telling us. And when we have the correct data and it's explicit, it tells exactly what it means. There's no guess or no thought process into it. We know exactly what the data is telling us. And this is basically what our environmental gap is. There's always a gap between our products and services and our customers and markets. And our ultimate strategic goal of DevOps really should be to decrease this environmental gap. In our next slide, we'll sort of explain why this is so important. And it's like what we like to term pins or dynamite. And this is sort of the secret, what we would call the secret that many of the companies truly doing DevOps have really discovered. For most companies out there, even most who, quote, are doing DevOps or Agile, that environmental gap between their products and services and their customers in the market, the reality is that customers in the market have to set up a bundle of dynamite to signal to them so that this company will actually detect the signals that the company, that there's new opportunities, there's threats, that the customer's not satisfied, versus this is what happens with companies that are truly doing DevOps. And we call it the pin drop. They are so sophisticated, they literally hear a pin drop from the customers or markets and can detect changes. And this is a tremendous advantage strategically versus everybody else out there. What we really need to understand, though, is learning is very critical in bridging this gap. Learning itself is both the impetus and engine for change, not tools. And I'll repeat this: you can put all the tools in the world in, but if you don't take care of the learning part and turning the information into explicit information, you're doing nothing. You're getting some, definite benefits, but you're not getting the full benefit, what other companies are truly doing a DevOps philosophy have figured out. As we said, as the impetus for change, though, learning is about watching the environment for software weak signals that present early warnings of opportunities, needs, dissatisfaction, or threats. This is where feedback loops in DevOps can be so effective if done properly. These feedback loops can detect changes that threaten to widen the gap between the environment demands and the products and services the organization is currently delivering. As the engine for change, learning provides processes to close the widening gaps. Learning is central to analyzing and describing the gap between the environment and current practices. DevOps deploys tools, processes, and one of them is this value stream mapping of 30 constraints, among others, to narrow this gap. By deploying these tools and processes, DevOps designs changes to the current organization practice to bridge the gap and provide processes and tools to propagate change throughout the organization. So to really understand what differentiates true DevOps organizations is their understanding that information technology and specifically information is capable of providing a DevOps environment is critical to allowing learning to become a central task for the organization. DevOps, when done correctly, has a lot of information technology, and information management process to play a critical factor in an organization's ability to learn and thus deploy the information generated in DevOps to be deployed strategically. Well, that'll wrap it up for this edition of Agile and DevOps Tidbits. As always, you can find more information on Agile Testing Framework or contact at Torah.com. Thank you.